Can I ask you guys something? Seen something recently
No, Wes,
with
you
a
don't like my tech.
that's good. With a celebrity recently, and they were asked. They're in the paper. Very, very, very smart person, but they were asked about finance.
Yes.
And I just wanted to I know how we know each other, main through Debbie.
Our
Been pretty
mother,
smart.
yeah.
But kind of from your perspective, and we just talked about sudden wealth syndrome, and I know we talked about lottery wins and stuff, but kind of getting breakthroughs and doing what you do. What was the money side of it an instant thought in terms of how you should be doing what you're doing or whether you should be thinking about it?
I know you, AJ, I won't talk for you, but you've always been very good with money, so you've always wanted to invest and you've saved and you've very planned out everything you've done. For me, I like to spend. I like to have fun with money, and coming into more money from doing a program like Love Island,
You had money before that though, as in like you worked on ships, like I had an income coming in.
Yes, but on the cruise ship, I think I earned £40,000 from the year that I did on the cruise ship. It's all cash, so it's all tax-free money. Truthfully, I spent it all. So
on the cruise ship,
I could have saved it all, and I spent it all because. Well, truthfully, that was because on the cruise ship, you get a bit of cabin fever. I'm a very sociable person. It became quite a hard place, so you end
we
up just
can
buying.
work the rest out. Yeah,
you just buy for buying, really.
But
then doing Love Island, where you start getting just a lump sum of money for doing a TV program or a brand deal or different things like this. Really, truthfully, it's only been up till now that I've realised and learned properly, and obviously with your help as well, Wes, how to manage my money now. And I've started actually a list. I've got an accounts book now. I write down everything that I'm doing and everything that I'm spending on a daily basis.
That works for you, kind of thing.
Because I need to visualise what I'm spending, because I didn't have all of my financials in front of me and knowing what all my outgoings were. So I was just spending. I wasn't thinking about the tax too much. I knew I had to pay tax and I knew I had to pay all these things, but I was just spending and having fun with it. Where in reality, money does stop coming in, so you need to focus on the future, even if you get lump sums in.
And would you say there's a difference between there's obviously a difference between earning money and kind of managing money and financial knowledge?
I think
Complete
earning
difference.
money and managing money is two completely different things. People think it's the same thing, honestly, but people that think that I'm like, well, you probably don't understand how to manage money then. For me personally, on my side, very different to Curtis is the way that I kind of earn money. My first real paycheck was Strictly. Before that, I would do shows and teaching, and that would allow me to fund my dancing, to travel across the world, and some external sponsors that would physically allow us to dance, because we couldn't afford to do that sort of lifestyle. And then when Strictly came, that was the first paycheck. I was like, oh, that's quite a lot of money for me coming from like nothing. When I worked out my hours per hour, I was like, not so much. But but the one thing for me was always about, I always want to understand what's mine and what's the government.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask.
Understanding. I had a goal in my head that I wanted to purchase a flat. So I understood that if I put my money into a limited company, it'd be harder for me to kind of get that money out and tax it again through dividends. And But I love to understand that myself. I'm fascinated by that. So I made sure that my first couple of paychecks, my first couple of years, I really did not spend a penny. Like I would refuse to buy a coffee. I was like, why am I going to buy a coffee like from Starbucks or whatever?
That's interesting.
I wouldn't spend a penny, but it meant I was able to buy a flat, and then I set up a limited company.
And would you say the flat was your future at that point? That's what you were thinking. You weren't thinking potentially further ahead, but you knew that, right, okay, this is great. I know where I want to do. I know where I want to get to. And that was kind of your
in my head, like buying a flat in London was kind of like my biggest target, and that was what I wanted to do with my money, because then at least I feel like I've earned something and I've got something to show for it. That was kind of my mentality. And plus just understanding like, okay, I've always, my first paycheck, I invested with yourself straight away. Understanding that things don't always last forever. Even then, when I was making money, like I was like, well, this may not last forever. Plus, talking to yourself and understanding, well, why don't you put some into your pension, because we can save your tax here. Like, for you talking to me about that, I was like, okay, let's do that. And then I'm thinking about the future as well.
And it's that part that's...
See, I didn't future think, and this I didn't think of the future, and this is where you were a lifesaver because you made me set up a limited company.
This is different
you made
mentality.
me
I like
invest
to
into, like you said, a pension and do my investments as well.
Yeah.
But I never thought of the future. And actually, now in hindsight, I wish I did a little bit more because I earned a nice amount of money throughout the times that I've since come off Love Island stuff.
Yeah.
And now that I'm writing everything down and seeing all my spending, you know what? It feels good. I'm actually noticing what's what. And I am aware of my outgoings. I am in control of my life now, I feel like, and in control of my wealth. And therefore, I look forward to actually now saving and then being able to invest even more and seeing what I can do with my money and what my money can actually do for me. And I'm actually really excited about it all. And ever since, obviously, joining FINT and everything.
Of course, absolutely.
It's become a real passion and now a love of mine, actually, to find out what my money can do for me. And I've never ever thought of it like that. And you know what? It's a real cool journey. For anyone out there that is actually and like hasn't focused on their money a little bit, you know, just sit back, get a little accounts book and just write down everything that you spend in each day. Just do it for 1 month. Try it. It'll be hard, 30 days. Try and do it. And you'll realize what you are spending and what silly things you're spending on as well. And I guarantee you will actually feel at the end of the month 1,000 times more confident in yourself, and you'll know what you can and can't do in life. And then you'll know how to set goals on what goals you want to set. It'll be a great achievement. What
prompted me to ask is, it's really interesting because there was Rachel Riley did an interview in a paper who I think is brilliant. She's brilliant.
Yeah,
obviously
she's great.
Ridiculously smart. Like incredible.
Very nice as well.
Oh, is she?
Yeah, really nice.
But she was asked a few questions, and this is why it's really interesting, because obviously she's super, super smart. And it said, do you invest in shares? And her answer was kind of definitely not a gambler. I think they're talking about legislation on crypto to class it as gambling rather than investing. That's not for me either. I've been offered work for promoting crypto. I guess most people have. We know how that went in the States. But I've turned it down. It's not something I'd want to promote. And again, my observation with that really was, and again, nothing relating to Rachel.
It's not what I expected.
And also kind of like how different it is to know the word shares, but actually understand and be super smart, but not how different it is to actually know what finance is and what financial education is and what financial management is, and how far away they are, which is why I thought it was interesting to kind of
I definitely think like plus mental health I think is one thing for me. Like if I don't know what my finances are, if I don't know that I've set myself in a situation where I can take time to step back and look at everything, therefore you get in a mess sometimes. Like even on simple things, like if I step back, I can probably get a better mobile phone bill. I can call the insurance company and save some money. I can fix my electricity bill, save money. I like to be able to do them sort of things as well. That makes me feel like I'm beating the system a little bit.
If money's constantly coming in, then you never ever do worry. But it's then times when you realise, oh, I didn't have a job for that month. Then that's when, because you've been clever with it, you feel so comfortable. But if you haven't, that's when it takes you by surprise and you think,
it was a thing just with the conflating cryptocurrency with shares. And I thought that's education, isn't it? Yeah. It's because kind of what you see, like we were talking about social media and media in general, is these things can get lumped together quite often.
Plus, I think
that education bit,
us doing this podcast, talking about money, expanding this side, creating FINT, working together, being co-founders.
Education,
like people have a perspective of, well, this is what you do. You're just a dancer. Well, in reality, like the more so people don't know anybody, they just know that facade. In reality, like for me, this has always been my passion. Like this has always been what intrigues me, and understanding it is so important, and passing that knowledge to other people is the best reward and feeling.
You need to be willing to listen as well, because you're both very willing to listen and understand it. You definitely had a greater passion for it, which you both just kind of said, and you were kind of already in that mode. And that was obviously when kind of looking to do FINT came up with the idea and talking about to you guys about doing it. It was such a logical thing to talk to you about because you were so into it. But it's just that preparedness to listen and not be closed-minded.
I think
that's the big thing.
It's really sad. You taught to get a job, you taught to get a wage.
Yeah.
You're not taught to manage
what to do with it,
or to understand what wealth is,
or what the hell a payslip, what all those things are in a payslip. Even
just,
that,
crazy.
all them things.
Insane. Yeah.
But I'll tell you what, though, I genuinely, since actually taking an interest in my accounts, my finance so much more, I feel 10 times better.
Yeah.
As a person.
In control.
Yeah, feel in control.
Yeah, it's a good thing.
And it is a great feeling.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love it.
Welcome to Money Talks. All opinions expressed by Wes Wilkes, AJ and Curtis Pritchard, and any guests are solely their own opinions and do not reflect the opinions of IronMarket, Wealth, or FINT. This podcast is for entertainment purposes only and should not be relied upon for any investment decisions. This is not financial advice.